4 games. Notre Dame is second, Alabama is third, Texas is fourth, and the Nittany Lions are fifth, so it's a matchup of number 1 against number 5. But I got to tell you, Michigan is not thinking about that at all. They know that if they have not solved some of their problems of the past few weeks, they could get embarrassed at Penn State today.
Hollins, end zone, Alexander!
That was the one shining moment for Michigan in last weekend's loss to the Spartans. The rest of the game, Tyrone Wheatley got stuffed, and their defense was pushed all over the field. When you've already dropped 2 games and figured to be unbeaten by now, and have just lost so convincingly to your bitter in-state rival, it can't be fun and can't be easy to prepare for the new conference powerhouse, Penn State.
It's just going to be very tough, and all the guys on the team are going to have to come together for next week's game. It might be even tougher than this.
And they're coming out fired up, so it's going to be a tougher game going down there.
The expectations were so darn high for this team. You almost feel like the season's now kind of crumbling down all around you.
Yeah, it's a letdown for us. Our goals. So we don't have an opportunity to complete some of our goals, but we just got to focus on the rest of the season. We got to make new goals for the rest of the season.
Today we'll find out if Michigan's one of the most overrated teams in the country, or if Gary Moeller found a way to motivate his much-talked-about talent into an upset.
I'm kind of excited about this football game. I'm excited about our team. And to me, what our team really needs now to see where we're at mentally and to test our character is a tough football game. And obviously, I think we're going to get as tough as opponent as we may see the rest of the year.
Penn State is special for a lot of reasons. Head coach Joe Paterno wins, and wins with class. He's respected throughout the country. His players are scattered all over the NFL. This is their first season in the Big Ten. This is their first game ever against Michigan. And this is the 1,000th football game in the history of the school. And for Michigan players from Pennsylvania, like Ty Law, playing at Beaver Stadium is special, especially if the Wolverines play up to their potential.
Right now, it's time to dig in and play for yourself. We still in the running for the Big Ten championship, but it's just that one game the defense will be on and the offense will be kind of shaky, but then the offense will be on and the defense, we're getting bladed a little bit. So once we come together as a team, offensively and defensively, I think we'll be more successful.
This is quite an experience for the Michigan players. I mean, for most of these guys, this is the first time they've ever seen Penn State. And let me tell you something, this is a beautiful campus, kind of in the middle of nowhere, though. But Joe Paterno and the Penn State administration had a choice a few years ago. Join the Big East or join the Big Ten. To Paterno, it was a no-brainer. Dave Llewellyn takes a look at this Paterno team trying to go to the Rose Bowl in their first year in the conference.
Penn State is primed for its first ever meeting with the Wolverines. The Nittany Lions rolled up 70 points in beating Maryland in their last game, and they've had an extra week to prepare for Michigan. But even with a 5-0 record and number 7 ranking in the polls, Joe Paterno says today's game provides a true barometer for his team.
I don't know how good we are, to be frank with you. We have not really played an outstanding football team yet. We have not really been in trouble yet. We have not been behind yet. Even at Southern Cal, even though they pressured us at the end, we felt we were better physically. This is the first game that we've gone into this year that I just don't know whether we're good enough. And I think our kids don't know whether they're good enough, and they're gonna work hard and go out, find out.
And Penn State has been pointing to this game ever since the school was admitted to the Big Ten. Additional motivation came in the form of preseason comments from the Michigan players. The Nittany Lions haven't forgotten.
Their players were doing a lot of talking, and it was a total disregard and lack of respect for our football team. And that's in the back of our minds, but we didn't let it bother us in the beginning of the season. But right now we're zeroed in on it, and that's what we're focusing on right now is Michigan, and to go out there and play a very effective football game against them.
I don't think as a whole we've gotten as much respect from any team or from anybody as I think we deserve coming into the Big Ten. And we're not going to turn it into a revenge factor, but at the same time I don't think we're going to forget it.
The Wolverines are facing a must-win situation. Their Big Ten title and Rose Bowl hopes ride in large part on the outcome of this game. The Lions know that. Expect a battle.
They're going to come up here with something to prove. They're going to be very psyched and very intense, but so are we. You know, this is the game that we've really been looking forward to, our whole career. This is the Big Ten to show them exactly what we can do.
A win today would put Penn State one giant step closer to the Rose Bowl. That's exciting to the fans in State College, but it's not a concern of Paterno's right now.
That's the farthest thing from my mind. Sure, when we were talking about we went in the Big Ten, and when I had a couple of when I'd walk around in down the back of my house in the woods, I'd dream about being in Pasadena. But that's a long time ago since I've done any of that stuff. I mean, we've had to get into our season, and right now I'm not. That's a long way away from my thoughts. My thoughts are strictly, figure out how we can do a job against Michigan.
Joe Paterno coaching here at Michigan Stadium. It'll happen next October, and it could have happened years earlier. Don Canham wanted to hire Paterno as Bump Elliott's replacement back in 1968. Paterno was Canham's #1 choice, and the job was offered to him in December of that year.
Everything I knew about Michigan I really thought was class, and I still do. And it would have been one of the few schools that I would have left Penn State for. But we had a good team coming back in '69. My young kids were just starting to get into near the school age, and my wife liked it here, so we decided that I wasn't going to prolong it any longer. And it was kind of interesting. After I turned it down a couple of days later, Don called me and asked me what did I know about a guy by the name of Schemberger.
And the rest, as they say, is history. Paterno has had 2 national championship teams at Penn State, and he has a chance to wind up in Pasadena on New Year's Day. Joe Paterno still happy in Happy Valley. For the Big Ten Ticket, I'm Dave Llewellyn.